Hello bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are starting a reading vlog where I show you how much I realistically read in a given week. Videos on booktube before, and it's like how much I read in a week, and they read like 20 books in 1 week, and I'm like, okay, that's not realistic for us girlies who work a full-time job. And I was like, you know, let's try to do a realistic what I read in a week. So people that are like me that work full-time but maybe have reading on the side as a hobby know, like, okay, it's not normal to read 5 books a week. It is normal to read however many pages I can read in 1 week, because I do work a full-time job, and granted, a lot of my day is spent in my car. I basically work as like a customer relations manager, and I work for a company that does deliveries for McDonald's, so a lot of my time is spent out at the field at McDonald's stores that I specifically deal with, either doing delivery observations, doing store visits, or whatever the case may be. So a lot of my time is spent driving, because my closest store to me is 45 minutes, and then I pretty much have stores between an hour and a half away, 2.5 hours away, sometimes even 3 hours away. And I drive 4 days a week, so I do crush a lot of audiobooks. That is how I'm able to read so much each week. This might be a little more than a realistic thing, because I could realistically read 2 audiobooks in a given week, but I don't always finish one entire physical book each week, if that makes sense. So we're gonna talk about the books that I plan to read this week in this video, and the first one is what I'm currently reading. I'm about 200 pages into this, so I've read this little chunk right here. I'm hoping to get pretty far into this, and this is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I am freaking loving this. I am just obsessed and can't wait to keep reading. When I do sit down and actually have the time to read, I can probably read a decent amount of this in a sitting, because it does read really fast, and like once I'm in it, like I don't want to stop. And this book is basically about our main character Rave, who she is like this world-renowned I was gonna say serial killer, that's not it. She is an assassin, and she kind of works for this like underground group that's trying to overthrow the crown and like the king, essentially. I don't know how to say things without spoiling them. So basically she gets put in, like she gets trapped somehow, gets captured, gets put in jail. The other character we have is our King Khan. He's on a tireless quest to quell the never-ebbing ache in his chest. The clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison, where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Rave. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to the story than meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. I don't really know what any of that is about yet, because I've really only seen Rave murder, kill a couple people, and lose one of her like best friends and her roommate, which that might be a little bit of a spoiler, so sorry if I ruin that for you. But let me just tell you that Rave is a badass main character. When she's like working as an assassin, she is a freaking savage, and this book can get pretty gruesome and like gory in detail, and like there was times where I was like, oh, like it made my stomach drop because it was so gory. So if you're sensitive to stuff like that, maybe just like look up a couple trigger warnings. I am absolutely obsessing over this book. I was so intimidated to 1, buy this, and then 2, read this, because this is a chunky book. How many pages is this actually? 690. So this is almost 700 pages, which is a very long book, and she's just thick. So far, I'm absolutely obsessing over this. I am loving it. Very happy I got over the length of this book and just decided to read it. So this will be the physical book we're working on this week. And then I just bought the audiobook for this. This is The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. I must be boring, Louie. This is just like a typical beachy read, but it's kind of more on like the sadder side. A lot of her books explore a lot of like self-growth and self-journey in her book. I think one character here, so she's escaping to the Cape for her 75th birthday. She's been there before, she's had a lot of memories there, but then the memories she has revealed, let me just read you the description. It says, Cecilia Lapthorne always vowed she'd never go back to Dune Cottage, so no one is more surprised than Cecilia to find herself escaping her 75th birthday party to return to the remote Cape Cottage. A place filled with memories. Some are good, especially memories of the early days with her husband, but then there are memories she has revealed to no one. After dropping out of medical school, aspiring artist Lily is cleaning houses on the Cape to get by, guilt-ridden for disappointing her parents. Unoccupied for years, Dune Cottage seems the perfect place to hide away and lick her wounds, until Cecilia unexpectedly arrives. Despite an awkward beginning, Lily accepts Cecilia's invitation to stay as her guest, and a flicker of kinship ignites. Then Todd, Cecilia's grandson, and Lily's unrequited crush shows up, sending a shockwave through their unlikely friendship. Will Lily find the courage to live the life she wants? Can Cecilia finally let go of the past to find a new future? Because as surely as the tide erases past footprints, this summer is offering both Cecilia and Lily the chance to swap old dreams for new. I love this cover. I think it's so damn cute. Her covers are always adorable. This is on my little like reading summary books TBR. So in this specific video, I won't be talking about my thoughts too much. On this one, I'll kind of just give you like brief vibes and how I'm feeling. But this is my audiobook for the week. I did just purchase the audiobook, even though I absolutely hate doing that, but the audiobook is not on Libby yet. So this is my little TBR for the week. I'm hoping I can maybe get one more audiobook in and maybe, I don't want to say finish this, but who knows. How many pages did I say it was? 690? If I want to finish this book this week, how much I have to read each day. So I said it was 690 pages. I'm on page 202. So I have 488 pages left to read. And I'm going to do this video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Make it a whole work week. So divided by 5. I would need to read 97.6 pages a day. I don't know if that's realistic. And if I don't finish this book by the end of this video, I'm not gonna like bitch and moan and cry over it, because I want this to be as realistic as possible, because again, I do work a full-time job and life gets busy sometimes. But I think this week Chris and I don't have much going on like during the week. That's when I like really can't get any reading done, is if we have like stuff going on during the week, because it's like I get home from work, I have to take Louis for a walk, I have to cook dinner, I have to clean, and then I barely have any time to read. And if we like have to go out for something, it takes away time even more. So the goal is gonna be to read 97-ish pages of this each day, so I can finish it by the end of the week. We're gonna hope I can finish this and then maybe get in one more audiobook. We'll see. We're not gonna put too much stress on this. I really just wanna show you guys how much I actually read in a week working a full-time job. So I'm gonna stop rambling. It is about 3:45 p.m. on Monday, June 24th. I worked from home today because I had to get an MRI this morning. I kind of just finished up work for the day. So I might be able to read more than my 97 pages today and maybe get a head start for the rest of the week, but we shall see. We're gonna start reading When the Moon Hatched, and I will come back when I have a significant reading update. Okay, had to share this little moment between Rave, our main character, and the king of, what is he the king of? The Burn King, Con Vagor. There's clearly a little love going on here, more so on the king side than Rave side. This might be mild spoilers, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear it. I don't think it is. But basically, he saved her from dying. She's like so savage and sassy, and she said, I'm gonna cut your tongue out with that blade in your boot. And he goes, I'd prefer you use your teeth, but beggars can't be choosers. So like, if these two really do get together by the end, it's probably gonna be chef's kiss. Just had to throw that in here, but let's keep reading. Good morning, friends. It is now, is it Monday? No, it's Tuesday the 25th. When I work from home on Mondays, I get so confused on like what day it actually is. I'm getting ready to head out for the day, and I wanted to give you a quick reading update because there isn't much. After I read a little bit yesterday, Chris came home from work and was like, will you come to Dick's with me? I have to do something for one of my golf clubs. So I went with him, and then he like kind of got me into watching Game of Thrones. I've only watched 3 episodes, but he's like, all right, well, you can read, but I'm going to keep watching. And I'm like, well, obviously I'm going to keep watching it because I'm like interested now. So I watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones last night, and I barely read anything. I am now at page 242, which means I read exactly 40 pages yesterday. So I'm just going to add that to my little note here. So basically I read 40 pages yesterday, which was an absolute fail, but you know what, it's fine. We'll catch up today because I'm going to start the audiobook for The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. I don't really know where I'm going today. Sometimes when I go for work, like I just kind of drive down close to my territory, and if anything pops up, I just go there. So that's kind of what we're going to hope for today. Hopefully something upstate pops up and nothing down in the city. I am just not going to the city today. Obviously, I don't have that much more to update on this, except for the fact that Con, the current king of the Burn, kind of just like did something crazy, and you wonder what his intentions are with doing all these things for Rave. Is he just being nice? Does he love her? Is he like trying to kill her himself? Like, it's just kind of like, what's going on here? It's a little suspicious behavior. You've heard them talk about the dragons in these books, but now you kind of just had a scene where you interacted with one, and I am just loving it because the first book I really ever read with dragons that I loved was Fourth Wing, and I feel like I haven't really read a book with dragons in it like that since Fourth Wing. It's been a while since Fourth Wing has been out, so I'm very excited to read a book where people have dragons. That's pretty much my only reading update. I will probably come back later today when I get home from work with a reading update on my progress for the summer swap. Hopefully we can get a decent amount of this read tonight. I have to like read before Chris gets home because he gets home and he's like, all right, let's eat dinner and watch whatever show. Now that I'm like kind of into Throne of Glass. I keep saying Throne of Glass instead of Game of Thrones. I'm like, when he gets home we watch it and I'm like, dude, cutting into my reading time here. But he's the type of person where he already watched Game of Thrones, so he's like rewatching technically for me. But if I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna watch it, he'll just keep watching it on his own. So then it's like I'm kind of forced to watch it because it's on in front of me and I don't want to miss anything, you know? I have to really get my reading done before he gets home from work. Okay, I'm not gonna do like the full shebang of getting ready today because I don't feel like it. This is just the Tower 28 tinted sunscreen. I am really liking it, actually. When I first got it, I was a little iffy about it, but I do like it. I'm not gonna sit here and talk for too much longer because I want this video to be relatively short. I will be back later today when I have reading update for The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. Okay, hi friends. It is now about 4 p.m. I am back from work. I did a lot of audiobook reading, so let's quickly talk about how much I read in this. I read 198 pages, so I've read this portion over here. I have this left to go. I listened to 60% of the audiobook when I was driving, and I'm enjoying this book, but not like loving it, and that's how I felt about the other book of hers I read, The Book Club Hotel, I think it was. They're just like, almost like midlife crises for certain people and just kind of like reinventing yourself. Her characters are usually people that are kind of at like a very low point in their life and they're trying to dig themselves out of it. The very first half of the book is like them at their lowest point and like how they're dealing with it, and then you get to probably like this-ish point, maybe a little more than halfway through, and everything starts to resolve itself and these characters kind of come to realization of what they truly want in life. That's kind of how all of her books are, but basically in this one we're following a couple different characters who are all intertwined in some way or another, and some of them end up at this place called Dune Cottage in Cape Cod that is owned by Cecilia, and Lily is working there over the summer. I don't even know if it's only over the summer, but this takes place in summer obviously, and she's working there doing like cleaning for a rental company. She's staying at Dune Cottage without anybody knowing because literally nobody's been there in years, so she doesn't have anywhere to live, so she's like, screw it, I'm gonna stay here. I know nobody's living here. Cecilia, the owner, turns up after like 50 years of not being there, and she's dealing with her own things, so her and Lily come to an agreement of like, okay, you can stay here, this is how things are gonna work. And then Todd, Lily's crush and Cecilia's grandson, shows up because Cecilia kind of just like up and left her life and was like, I'm just taking some time for me. So Todd, her grandson, shows up, and Lily is like brought back all these feelings of being basically in love with him, even though he has no idea about any of her feelings. We're kind of at the point where each character getting to the point of the ladder of where they're about to reach the top and then kind of resolve whatever issues they have, you know? So far today I have read 198 pages of The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. So let me update my my notes. So this just goes to show that I can read a lot. It's just I mostly read audiobooks because I listen at 1.75 speed. Today, for instance, I drove for like 5.5 hours. So I listened to 5.5 hours pretty much. I did some YouTube in between too to give my brain a break. I read mostly on audio because I am in my car all the time driving. So I did listen to a good chunk of this today, and that's pretty realistic for me. There is spans where like I'm not in the mood for audiobooks, but for the most part I'm always listening to an audiobook, and I usually finish like 1 to 2 audiobooks per week. And then physical reading, that's always a different story. But we are going to go sit outside for a little bit, hopefully get some decent amount of reading done on this. I would love to at least read to page 300. I'm on 242. So I would love to read at least 58 pages, so I'm at least 300 pages through. And what's like the halfway point of this book? Let's see. To get halfway through, it'd have to be at 345, so that's a stretch of a goal today, but we could maybe do it. That'd be like 103 pages. I don't know. We'll see. It also depends on when Chris gets home, because like once he gets home, my day is kind of like shot in the best way possible, because then him and I get to spend some time together, you know? Like we usually cook, eat our dinner together, and then right now we're watching Game of Thrones. Usually I'm not watching a TV show. He's usually watching his own TV show, and I'm usually reading, but since he's got me watching Game of Thrones, we're doing that together at night, so we'll see. We're going to try to get as much reading done before he gets home, and I will either be back later today with a talking update and a reading update, or tomorrow morning. Okay, we're going to go sit outside, but I wanted to take a moment of silence for my new Stanley that I got last night. How friggin' beautiful is this? It's like a turquoisey blue color with lime green detailing. I was going to go with like one of the pink ones, but Chris said he liked this one, so that's the one we got, and I am obsessed with this color. Like, look at this color combo. It's unmatched. Okay, let's go outside and read. Look at this tannin beauty. You getting some sunshine? So it's finally not super humid. Now Wednesday? Yes, Wednesday the 26th. I'm here for a reading update from yesterday. The total tally of pages that I read yesterday was 198 of The Summer Swap by Sarah Morgan. Also, sorry, Louie's chewing a bone. That's why you hear all these weird noises. I ended up reading to page 302 of When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker, which means I read 60 pages of this yesterday, hoping to read a lot more, but I did finish The Summer Swap today, so we're gonna see how many pages I read of this. This book was 316 pages, and I started on 198, meaning I read 118 pages of this bad boy today. Let me add that to my notes. So then we just have to see how many pages we can read of When the Moon Hatched. So, final thoughts on this. I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 3.75 star. These books are nothing like mind-blowing and like earth-shattering. You kind of can determine how each book is going to end, but I really liked how each character always gets their happy endings in all of her books. But actually, one of my favorite storylines in this book is Kristen, Cecilia's daughter, which you heard me say before that she was like really annoying because she's very like self-centered. But she was going through a hard time with her marriage. Her husband was like a really good surgeon and basically worked like 18 hours a day every day and never really was there for her. And the story that they went through and how their story specifically ended just made me bump up my rating a little bit. The story between Todd, Cecilia's grandson, and Lily was like easy to guess. We knew that was going to happen. I liked the mystery of the painting that they talk about a lot in Cecilia's story. So I liked a lot of things about it. It just wasn't like that mind-blowing and that like gut-wrenching. And yeah, so gave this 3.75 stars. If you want to hear me talk more about this, I don't know when the summary reading vlog video is going to be up, so if it's up already, I'll put that it's up here. If there's no words on the screen now, that means it's not up yet. So I don't know what we're going to read next after this. We're definitely going to go to another audiobook. I do have the audiobook for None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which I could read that, but honestly I have no interest in reading that, but maybe we'll try a little bit of it tomorrow, see what we think, because I do physically own that book, and I really only want to keep this specific video to books that I own, so I actually know how many pages I'm reading. I was in Manhattan this morning. I had to leave my house at 5:30, and it is now 2:30, and I literally just got home, and I'm so freaking tired that I think I'm gonna take a little snooze on the couch, hopefully for only a half hour. But I'm like an all or nothing type of napper. Like I either don't nap at all, or I literally nap for like 2 hours and get like such a deep sleep. So I also went to bed last night with a headache. I definitely could have kept reading last night, but my head was killing me, and I knew I had to be up early, so I like put myself to sleep. But I still kind of have like the remnants of a headache, but I don't know if it's just from like the strain on my eyes from driving so much lately. I'm gonna go sit on the couch for a little bit, take a little snooze, and then we'll get to reading, and I'll come back later with a reading update. Good morning, friends. It is now Thursday, the 27th. I have quite the reading update for you. I didn't come back and talk yesterday because I also don't mind my little cat ears. This is the only headband that fits my head. I didn't come back yesterday and do a reading update because my head was killing me. I got home from work and started to get a really bad, not really bad, started to get the inkling of a migraine. So I took my migraine meds and they make me really like lightheaded and just kind of out of it. So I was like, if I come back and try to talk to a camera, I'm going to be speaking gibberish. So I just was like, you know what, we'll just update tomorrow morning, but I'll get some reading done. And I got so much reading done for somebody who works full time. I got 90 pages read last night. I was really shooting to read 100, but I came upstairs and my eyes started shutting on me around like page 390. And I was like, all right, just read to 392 and we'll consider that a success for the day, which I'm very excited about. So I'm almost on 400 pages, and yesterday this book took quite the turn. It was a plot twist that I literally was not expecting at all, but I didn't love the way the author went about it. Like, she kind of just like threw this on us instead of like maybe leading up to it a little bit. I wish I could talk about it because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, but obviously I'm not going to spoil it. So if you have read this book, please message me on Instagram and let me know, like, just be like, hey, I saw your video, I want to talk about it, because I need to figure out what the frig is going on. It's just so crazy, and I don't understand how this author, I mean, obviously she's going to give you answers, hopefully, but I don't know like how you explain it. This world is so different. I've never seen a fantasy world like the one in When the Moon Hatched. Did I even tell you that's the book I'm talking about? I've never read a fantasy like this before in my life. And I'm not like a huge fantasy reader. That's not the only genre I read, but I do read a decent amount of fantasy. And this book is just out of this world. I would love to see this be made into a movie because I want to see everything that this author is describing in the book, and like the creatures and how like magic works and how this and that works and the phases and the moons. I want to see that in a movie. So I want more people to read this book so we can get some hype around it and get a movie made or a show, either or. But I'm really enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read because, like I just said, like, we're kind of just getting thrown these plot points instead of like leading up to it, you know? Like, I wish I was like, wait a second, what the hell is about to happen? And then when it happens, I'm like, holy shit, no way. Whereas like it's all of a sudden like, oh, la-di-da-di-da, and oh, boom, this happened. You're kind of like blindsided almost. Sorry, I'm trying to pluck my eyebrows and it's just, I don't really think I can talk and do it at the same time. I'm on page 392. So I read 118 pages on my audiobook yesterday, and then 90 pages of When the Moon Hatched, which that's a lot of reading for me in a day. I'm not gonna lie. I usually don't read that much in a day because I'm usually not loving books that I'm reading. Well, trying to get better about that and just reading what my heart is telling me to read instead of like what my TBR is telling me to read, you know? I am just getting ready for work. I have to go to 2 deliveries today. I really have to go to one, and one of my stores was closed briefly for like a short remodel. So I have to go watch the reopening delivery. But I'm gonna try to make it to the delivery before and then probably head out after the reopening one because Louis is at daycare today and I have to be back by 4:15 to pick him up. Hopefully the driver's not late or nothing happens and I'm stuck. My parents can always pick him up, but I like picking him up from daycare. Anyways, I'm just finishing getting ready. I have a nice 2 nasty friends. I have like a welt on my head. I get like under the skin pimples. I don't get them like whiteheads, and they freaking hurt. And I have this giant one right here. I think it's from wearing my headache hat yesterday. And then I have a nice friend right on my like upper lip, which freaking hurts. I don't know what I'm gonna read for an audiobook. I'm thinking I'm gonna try None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, just because I have it through my library and I don't feel like paying for an audiobook right now since I just paid for the summer swap. I literally hate paying for audiobooks. Like, it really irks me. Especially if I already physically own the book, because I clearly already spent money to get the freaking book. So paying for an audiobook like bothers me. I have a lot of YouTube videos to catch up on, which I might do that first, and then if I have time to read an audiobook, I might. I also do that a lot, which I know it's really bad. Don't yell at me, but I set my car up or my phone up like right where my radio is and just watch YouTube. I mostly listen, don't worry. I'm not like sitting there staring at my phone. That's how I catch up on my YouTube. And some days I literally don't feel like listening to an audiobook because I'm like, I know I don't have the attention span for it right now, so I'll just like watch YouTube. On the days where I don't have any like videos to catch up on, I'll obviously read an audiobook, but I do have a couple of videos to catch up on. So I might do that, and then if I'm still, after that, I might start an audiobook. I don't know, we'll see. By the way, I am absolutely loving this NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it because this light is really bright. I freaking love this stuff, and I love it with the brush it comes with, which I want to get another one for my travel. But I also have been loving this Tower 28 Beach Please Rush Hour Buildable Luminous Color for Cheeks and Lips. I would never use this on my lips, but it's just like a cream blush. It's in this like bright kind of orangey corally color, and I love it. I also just placed an order for Rhode Beauty, one of her new liquid blushes. Nope, not liquid, cream blush. Because they just look so cute and they look so nice. Like everybody's loving them and not hating on them. I'm a huge Justin Bieber fan, so I'm a little butthurt that he got her pregnant. But like, if the product's good, I'll bow down. Oh my god, it's so dramatic. But I did order that, so once that comes in, I will definitely let you guys know in an upcoming video how I feel about it. But I got a color that's kind of similar to this Tower 28 Rush Hour one, so maybe we'll compare the two. I'm gonna shut up now because that was a 7-minute clip, and I will be back later today when I have a reading update. Okay, hi friends. Checking in. I don't have a reading update because I didn't listen to a single audiobook on my drive today, because I was watching YouTube videos and listening to Espresso on repeat because I'm obsessed now. A little late to the party, I know. I got a package, and I'm pretty sure this is from Chamberlain's Coffee. I figured since I'm vlogging, I might as well show you what I got. I got a couple of things of cold brew and some of her ground coffee because it's my favorite to use for French press, which is really the only thing I've been drinking lately. I got 2 freebies, which I'm really excited about. I will say, every time I've ordered from Chamberlain Coffee, I've always gotten something for free, so it's a big perk. Let's first talk about the cold brews I got. I got the Fancy Mouse blend. This is their espresso blend, which I got this one. It's a hair. Okay, Louie, let me get him a treat. Hold on. Really? Here. Come here. I'll give you a bigger one. Okay, anyways, back to what I was saying. I got this one specifically for Chris because I want him to try it. I'm not much of a espresso girly. It's like way too tart for me, but this one has a creamy body, dark chocolate and sweet caramel taste. He's really into espresso, that's all he drinks, so I feel like he might like these. And then I also got the Sweet Otter Cake Batter Blend. This is tasting notes of vanilla buttercream frosting. I had the ground coffee of this, but they didn't have it in stock, so I figured I would just order the cold brew bags. And if you're confused why I'm saying cold brew bags, it's because they literally come like this, and they're like almost like tea bags, and you literally just like put it in 8 ounces of water and let it soak for at least 12 hours. Soak, I don't know if that's the right word, but I love her cold brew. I'm really sad because I had like the perfect mason jar for her cold brew, and I freaking broke it trying to put it in the dishwasher. For the coffee grounds that I got my 3, actually I don't know if I've ever had one of these. I've had 2 of these before. This is one that I've had before. This is the this is the Early Bird blend. This has tasting notes of light roast and bright and sweet. What is your fucking problem? God, I really like this one, and I don't know if it has more caffeine in it, but actually, it has 5 beans of caffeine because she has like caffeine strength on her packaging. And this has 5 beans. I don't know if that's a lot. I think that's the most you can get, which I need because I just do. The other one I've had before, and this is probably my favorite of hers, is the Fluffy Lamb Vanilla Blend. This has tasting notes of Madagascar vanilla and roasted nuts, and this is a medium roast, and this is 4 out of 5 beans. This is my favorite one. I really like the cake batter blend. That one was really good. I wanted to get the sweet caramel, but it was out of stock, so I didn't. And then this one I've had in cold brew, and I liked it. There's not really much coffee that I don't like, but I decided to get this one in the ground. This is the Social Dog Blend. This has notes of peanuts and graham cracker and milk chocolate. This one doesn't have the strength of caffeine on here. I don't know why, but I also got this one. And then as a freebie, because I spent $35, I got the original family blend that says milk chocolate, almond, and black cherry, which black cherry gives me PTSD from drinking so many black cherry White Claws when they first came out. But we'll try this. But yeah, this was a freebie, this is a fantastic freebie because her coffee bags are like $16, so I got that for free. And then the other freebie I got, which is unreal because I was literally thinking about buying this, and then when I realized it was a freebie, I just added on an extra thing of cold brew and got this for free. And that is what the hell is this called? I don't even know what it's called. It's like their tumbler, like this. It says Chamberlain Coffee, created with love in California. It's like a really nice plastic, and then it does come with a straw as well. And I was literally gonna buy this for like I think it was $22, and then saw that I was gonna get it as a freebie if I spent like an extra, I don't even remember what, 20 bucks maybe. And I was like, oh sure, got that too. That's my little Chamberlain Coffee haul, I guess. I really do like her stuff. It's some of the best coffee I've probably ever had. And I make myself a thing of cold or French press and then put it in her big mason jar, and this lasts me like 3-4 days. So I do need to make more, which maybe we'll try the family blend because I've never tried that before. Because I do need to make coffee, obviously, because this is empty and I can't survive without coffee. Speaking of coffee, I actually think I'm gonna make myself an espresso coffee. Maybe drink it out of my new tumbler because your girl needs caffeine. I literally drove all the way to Brookfield, Connecticut, which was like a little over 2 hours for me, to go to 2 deliveries. I got there a little early. The driver didn't leave on time. And then he texted me and was like, oh, I blew a tire, I'm gonna be late. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I literally can't wait because I have to go pick up Louie and get home. And he had a 3-hour delay, and I was like, sorry, but I ain't waiting. Literally drove there for nothing. But I did go to 2 thrift stores. I went to a Goodwill, and they have a really good Savers up by that store. So my original plan was to go there and wait for the driver, and I was gonna go to these thrift stores anyways while I was waiting. So I did that, and then as I finished at the second thrift store, he then texted me and said that he broke down. So I'm gonna go put away my coffee, and then we will talk about the books that I got from the thrift stores because I scored big at Savers today. Just wait. So let me go put this away and then we'll do a little book haul. Let's do a little thrift haul. Also, Louie has a bone right here, so sorry if he's making noise. I can't help it. At the first thrift store, I only got 2 things, but like they are so cute and I can't wait to use them. I got this really adorable like vintage like Christmas tint. It says greetings on the top, and it's got cute little handles. I picture making little, obviously I have to clean it, but I picture making like little Christmas cookies for my grandma and giving this to her, and I feel like she would just like love this. Like I think it's so vintage and so cute, and I'm pretty sure I got this for $3. I thought that was a steal. And then I saw this TikTok of somebody who organized their spices using like these little house jars. I thought it was so cute. I showed Chris and he was like, you're not doing that. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that, but I think those little houses are so cute. And look at what I found. This is exactly what the little houses looked like, except for it said like oregano or whatever the spice was up here. And obviously it's like a little jar, but like, I also gotta get the sticker off. Like how stinking cute is this thing? Like I saw this for $1, I think, and I couldn't turn it down. And I was like, how cute would it be to like find a bunch of these and just like put them on my bookshelf? Like I could put this by my romance books because it's like pink and girly. Thought that was so cute. Next, I went to Savers. I found those 2 things at a Goodwill. And then next I went to Savers, and this is so random. Like literally so random, but the last time I went to that Savers, specifically in Brookfield, Connecticut, I found like, what are these called? I call them like soup bowls, but they're like mini Dutch ovens. And I found a set of 3, and I really wanted a set of 4, so I got another one. This one has a lid, whereas my other ones don't. But I wanted to get a 4th one to match my set, and somehow, some way, they literally had 1 left. It was almost like it was fake being there, so got that. The rest of the stuff is books and books only, and they always have a thing where if you buy 4 books, you get the 5th free. Sorry that this is like going in and out of focus. So if you buy 4, you get the 5th free. So I got 10 books for literally, I think all of these books were like $3 each. So I got 10 books for $12, which I thought was pretty damn good. And the first book I grabbed was The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. I feel like this is like a classic almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is one of those books that everybody read and everybody loved. So I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Fucking stickers. Who decides to put these stickers on these books? Anyways, this is The Shack, and this is basically about a girl who goes missing, and there's like evidence of her in this shack that's like in an abandoned woods in the Oregon wilderness. And then 4 years later, the dad apparently gets like this note from God to go back to the shack, and he goes there in like a very wintry afternoon, and then something crazy happens. It says he walked back into his darkest nightmare. It says, in a world where religion seems to grow increasingly irrelevant, the shack wrestles with the timeless question, where is God in a world so with unspeakable pain? Is this a religious book? And I didn't notice that, but whatever. Got that. And then the next 3 books I got are books 1, 2, and 4 in a series. And this is the Bracing Gray series. So I have books 1, 2, and 4, which bothers me. I could not find book 3. But I looked on Amazon and they sell it on Amazon, so it's fine. This basically is a series about, well, it starts with book 1 called Camp Legend, where this kid, he's 12 years old and he's going to this like athletic camp, so there's competition. He has weird friends and there's pretty girls, and then he somehow stumbles upon a terrorist sinister plot and somehow manages to stop a terrorist attack. And there's 4 books in the series, which book 3 goes here. And I looked on Goodreads, and this first book at least has like a 4.15 rating on Goodreads, and I was like, okay, so it must be good. And for $3 per book, I was like, even if I don't like them, it's fine, it's whatever. But I was very excited to find these, even though I've never heard of the series before. But like a 12-year-old stopping a terrorist attack, like, what? So got those. The next books I found, you're probably gonna laugh your ass off when I show you them, but I have good reasoning for buying these. And this is books 3 through 6 of the New Prophecy Warriors series. Okay, so it's a series about cats, and they like, I don't know, it's like cats solving mysteries or something, I don't know. It's so funny. But backstory, I was going through a bit of a reading slump, and Chris was like, oh my god, like you should read this series that I loved when I was a kid. It was like very easy, you'll probably fly through it. And he was talking about this book that he used to read. And so I looked it up on Kindle Unlimited, and they had book 1 on Kindle Unlimited, so I got the book on my Kindle and I haven't read it yet. So when I saw, before I started reading When the Moon Hatched, Chris was like, can you read my book? Like, I want you to read that. And I was like, no, I'm not in the mood for that right now. So when I saw books 3, 4, 5, and 6 in stores, I was like, oh my god, I have to friggin' buy these and do a video where I'm like reading my husband's childhood favorite book series, and he's gonna die when he sees that I bought these. But I have no idea what these are about. This one is the 3rd one. It says, the young cats who set off on a quest many moons ago have returned with a chilling message. The clans must move to a new home or risk destruction. But the cats have no idea where to go. What they need is a sign from Star Clan. I don't know. It's like a middle grade series, and I can't friggin' wait. I'm definitely gonna film a video of me reading those. The last 2 books are also middle grade, and these kind of give off like Harry Potter vibes or like middle grade fantasy. And the first one is The Time Travelers, and this is book 1 in the Gideon trilogy by Linda Buckley Archer. And I don't know what this is about, but on the front it says, for kids who love Harry Potter. So I was like, okay, give me. I don't know, I bought it. I was like, that sounds adorable, and I love this little cover. And it's a book series. I think there's 3 books in the series. I don't know, I didn't do much research, honestly, on any of these books. And then the last book I have is The Shadow Thieves by Anne Ursu, I think is how you pronounce it. Again, no real clue what this is about. I kind of just like read it quickly. I don't know, I'm not even gonna, this is also a book. It says, look for the next book, The Siren Song. And it says, what if Greek myths were real? Got that too. Oh my god, was that just out of focus the entire time? I'm not going back and filming it. So that is my little thrift book haul. Quite a array of books, if you ask me. I'm very excited to read all those. I know this is not like a weekly vlog, and you're probably like, why the hell are you showing us so much like stuff that you bought? But you know what? I am filming a video. This fucking cameraman. I figured since I'm already filming a video, might as well throw a little bit of lifey stuff into it. But let's talk about the real reason why you're here, and that is a reading update, which I have 0 reading update because I didn't listen to a single audiobook, and I have yet to read a single page of When the Moon Hatched today, and it is 5 p.m. So I need to get reading. I need to put all this stuff away. I need to add the books I bought to my project TBR, so I don't forget when I go to update my journal this month. That was way too much talking. The last couple clips that I've had for this video are all very chatty, so I'm very sorry in advance. I thought this was gonna be like a really short video. I'm going to go put all this stuff away, and then we're gonna go sit outside and get some reading done because it is absolutely beautiful out. It's like 75 and breezy. so good after the heat wave we just had, but I'll be back. Friday. The last day I am doing this realistic how much I read in a life in a week vlog. It is 4:45 p.m. and I literally am just sitting down for the first time today. I woke up and got ready for work and like got dressed and everything and was legitimately about to leave my house, and like from the time I woke up to the time I was about to leave my house, I had 1,000,001 messages of things that I needed to do for my full-time job, like from my boss, from my coworkers, from my stores, and I literally was like, should I just work from home today? Like I was gonna drive to our DC and do some stuff there, but I was like, I'm gonna waste more time driving there and getting back than I am if I just like stayed home one extra day this week and just got all of this stuff done. So I literally went and changed into comfy shorts, worked on my laptop for like hours. Probably the longest I've been on my laptop for a while. I also did some YouTube stuff. I did a lot of editing and like uploading and organizing clips, which feels really freaking nice. I went to go visit my grandma, went to the grocery store, put all my groceries away, just had some food, and now I'm sitting down for the first time today. Can't determine if I want to sit inside and read or sit outside and read because it's like beautiful out. Maybe we'll go sit outside for a little bit. Last night, I read up to page 414, which is chapter 51. So yesterday I only read 22 pages. And this just goes to show like how realistic this video is, because I read 90 pages one day, I finished an audiobook within 2 days, and then yesterday I read only 22 pages physically, and that was it. And I didn't do any audiobook today because obviously I didn't drive, so the only reading I will do today is of this. It is, what day is it? It's the 28th, so I have 3 days until the end of the month, which I would love to finish this by the end of the month. So there's 690 pages, I'm on 414. That means I have 276 pages left to read. Let's divide that by 3. That means I need to read 92 pages today, tomorrow, and Sunday to finish this by the end of the month. And then we can start off July with a fresh slate. So my goal for today is to read to page 506 of this today. And if I can do that, I will consider this a success and a successful vlog, because I did do a decent amount of reading. Like I said, this is a realistic take on this kind of video, because a lot of people that you'll probably watch that maybe do something like this full-time, or like don't work a full-time job, or one that requires so much of their attention, will be like, oh, I read 300 pages each day, and I'm like, homegirl, that ain't realistic. Like, this is realistic. So I'm gonna get some reading done, and I will be back either later. No, I might be back. I'll probably realistically be back tomorrow morning once I finish my pages for today, because I'm not gonna come back and update you right before I'm about to fall asleep, because I'm literally gonna be like freaking out of it, like I always am right before I go to sleep. So the next couple clips you'll see will probably be B-roll. Then I will be back tomorrow morning to give you a wrap up of how many pages I read in this realistic weekly reading vlog. And then we'll close out this video and we'll move on to whatever's next. So I'll see you then. Chloe. Wow. That was anticlimactic. Did it die? Oh.
Yeah, just messing with your video.
Okay, hi friends. Hold on. I think I need to prop you up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we are here. It is Saturday morning at about 11. Closing out this video, let's recap the pages that we read, but let's first figure out how much I read yesterday. I failed epically yesterday. Not epically, but I didn't reach the 92 page part that I wanted to get to, which is fine. So I am now on page 462 and I started at 414. So I read 48 pages yesterday. So let's add that to my thing. I'm hoping I can still finish this book by tomorrow. Let's recap. On Monday, I read 40 pages of When the Moon Hatched. Tuesday, I read 60 pages of When the Moon Hatched and 198 pages of The Summer Swap. And then Wednesday, I read 118 pages of this and 90 pages of this. Thursday, 22 pages of this, and Friday, 48 pages of this. So let's add this up and see. So I read the entirety of this. So what did I say? 198 plus 118. So I read 316 pages for The Summer Swap. So I read 260 pages of When the Moon Hatched. So in total, I read 576 pages in 1 week, which that is really good for me. I'm not gonna lie, because I finished one book and read a decent amount of this chunky book. If this book wasn't so thick, I probably would have read an entire other book and probably finished it, but very happy with that. I'm pretty proud of myself for reading as much as I did. I usually read a lot less than this, I feel like, or it kind of depends. It really depends on the week and like my mood and what we have going on. So very happy with this. To quickly recap my thoughts on each book, I really enjoyed this one. I gave this 3.75 stars. I thought it was okay. Didn't give super beachy vibes or like summery vibes, but still highly recommend. And then for When the Moon Hatched, obviously I'm not done, but I am absolutely loving this book. I can't wait to finish it, but I also don't want to finish it because the next book doesn't come out till next fall. So like a year and a couple months until the next book comes out. So I'm hoping that this doesn't end on like too much of a cliffhanger, even though I know it's going to. But I truly love this. Like, I am obsessing over this book, and I love the pacing of it because it's like, even when nothing major is really going on, there's like little plot points that kind of get you to the next point, and they're so interesting and so good. I'm just loving it. I was really intimidated, obviously, because this book is a chunky little thing, but it reads really fast, and you're so intrigued in the world that you like don't even realize how many pages it really is. And I am gonna be sad when this is over and wish that there was more for me to read. Those are my thoughts on these two books. If you like these kinds of videos, definitely let me know. I can totally do more. I loved filming this and had so much fun filming this. If you like this video, definitely let me know in the comments. Let me know how much you read in any given week. What's your average page count for reading in a week? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.